A full moon cast an eerie glow over the White River on a stifling summer night in 1937. John Dillman, a seasoned riverboat captain, navigated the treacherous bends with practiced ease. The river, calm and silent, mirrored the starlit sky. The gentle hum of the boat's engine was the only sound, a comforting monotony that suddenly shattered. Without warning, the water beside his boat erupted. John's heart skipped a beat as he turned to see a monstrous head break the surface. It was enormous, covered in slimy algae and river muck, with eyes that glowed of an unholy red. The creature's neck, long and sinuous, stretched upward, revealing a serpentine body that seemed to go on forever. Its skin was thick and gray, resembling an elephant's hide, but slick and shimmering in the moonlight. Bony ridges protruded along its spine, rising and falling like the teeth of an ancient saw. John froze, his breath caught in his throat, as the beast emitted a low, guttural growl that reverberated through his chest. The sound was otherworldly, a deep vibration that sent chills down his spine. For a moment that felt like an eternity, he was locked in a terrifying stare with those glowing eyes. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the creature slipped back into the depths, leaving only ripples and a heavy, oppressive silence. This was no ordinary creature. This was the White River Monster. The White River Monster, or Whitey, as some of the locals have come to call it, is described as a gargantuan serpentine beast, anywhere from 30 to 40 feet in length. Its body is covered in thick, grayish skin reminiscent of an elephant's hide, but slick with river slime. Along its spine are jagged, bony ridges that rise and fall like teeth of an ancient saw. Its head is elongated, with a snout filled with razor-sharp teeth and eyes that burn with an otherworldly red glow. Some say it has whisker-like appendages, similar to a catfish, that sense the vibrations of the water. The origins of the White River Monster are as murky as the waters it inhabits. Some legends claim it is a prehistoric creature, a relic from a time when giants ruled the earth. Others whisper of a cursed place upon the river by a Native American shaman, angered by the desecration of sacred lands. According to these tales, the monster was conjured to protect the river and its spirits, forever bound to its depths. It is said to reside in a deep, hidden cavern beneath the riverbed, emerging only when disturbed or when the river is at its lowest. It preys on anything that crosses its path, from fish to livestock, and occasionally humans who venture too close to its territory. Its appearance are often heralded by strange occurrences, sudden drops in temperature, unexplained whirlpools, and the haunting cries that echo across the water at dusk. Over the years, numerous eyewitness accounts have surfaced, each adding a new layer to the legend of this monster. In the summer of 1971, a group of teenagers seeking thrills and adventure decided to camp by the riverbank. As they sat around their fire, sharing ghost stories of course, they heard a low rumbling growl. The ground trembled, and the water began to ripple violently. One of the boys shone a flashlight towards the river, and there it was. The monster, half submerged, its massive head breaking through the surface. The teens described it as having a horrifyingly wide mouth lined with teeth that seemed to glint in the light. They ran, leaving their campsite behind, and swore they would never return. Perhaps the most recent sighting was in the early 2000s. A local farmer named Thomas Reeves reported that several of his cattle had gone missing. One evening, while searching for his livestock, he stumbled upon a gruesome scene. The remains of a cow, partially devoured, near the riverbank. As he approached, he noticed the water churning. He watched in horror as the White River Monster emerged, dragging its latest victim into the water. Thomas claimed that the creature locked eyes with him for a brief, terrifying moment before disappearing into the depths. The White River Monster continues to be a source of fear and fascination for those living near the White River. Is it a guardian of the river, a cursed beast, or simply a figment of overactive imagination? The truth remains hidden beneath the river's dark waters, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to seek it out. But what truth lies beneath these tales? Are we talking about a prehistoric survivor hidden in the depths of the White River, or perhaps a case of mistaken identity, with manatees or elephant seals maybe playing the personal roles of the monsters? Or could it be something entirely new, a creature unknown to science lurking in the murky waters, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself? As we dive into the facts, remember that the line between reality and myth is as thin as the shifting river currents. Sightings date back to 1915, with a frenzy of attention in the 30s and a resurgence of interest in the 1970s. They have cemented the White River Monster's place in local legend and beyond. The first known sighting was in 1915 by a plantation owner, sparked a wave of monster mania, leading to the efforts to capture it that would make any modern-day cryptozoologist's heart beat faster. Imagine trying to net a creature 3 cars long with nothing but ropes and sheer determination. Fast forward to 1937, when Whitey made its presence known again, this time to a fisherman, and not just any fisherman, but one who decided that dynamite was the way to go in monster hunting. Yes, you heard me right, dynamite. But what really throws a wrench in the gears of skepticism are the sightings in the 1970s, complete with descriptions of the creature the size of a boxcar, with a bone protruding from its forehead, making sounds like a mix between a cow's moo and a horse's neigh. And then there are the tracks, 3-toed impressions leading down to the river, suggesting something large, something unknown walked there. And if the tale couldn't get any more intriguing, the Arkansas state legislator stepped in, not to debunk, but to protect, creating the White River Monster Refuge. It's not every day that state legislators, on behalf of a monster, make it illegal to harm whatever the monster might be. But what are we to make of these accounts? A misidentified elephant seal, and from its natural habitat, a giant fish, or something unexplained? From the Quapaw Indians, the original stewards of the land, came early tales that whispered of a formidable creature capable of overturning canoes with barely a ripple. Imagine the tales told around fireside of a shadow beneath the water, a protector of the river, or perhaps a harbinger of the river's mighty wrath. Fast forward to the Civil War, and Whitey takes on a new role in local lore, credited with the audacious acts of overturning a Confederate gunship. It's this blend of historical events and folklore that gives this monster a nearly mythical status, intertwining fact and fiction until they're indistinguishable. Here, the White River Monster transcends the realm of mere cryptid sightings to become a symbol of the river's power and mystery. But the story of Whitey isn't just a relic of the past. It's a living part of Newport's identity. The creature has spurred a cottage industry of tourism, with souvenirs, signs, and even parades celebrating the local legend. Imagine a town where the monster leads the Christmas parade, a whimsical nod to a tale that has captivated generations. It's a testament to the power of stories, how they can shape the identity of a place and its people, turning the White River Monster into Newport's unofficial mascot. And yet, for all its charm and whimsy, the legend of the White River Monster holds a deeper allure. It speaks to the human need for mystery, for stories that remind us of the unexplored corners of our world. It is a bridge to the past, a reminder of the days when maps were filled with uncharted territories, and here be dragons. Skeptics and scientists alike have cast their theories into the river's depths, attempting to explain Whitey through the lens of known phenomenon. Could the sightings of the supposed river monster be misidentifications of mundane, albeit large, river dwellers? But biologists have suggested that Whitey could be an elephant seal misplaced far from its natural oceanic home, or perhaps a manatee whose gentle grazing might be mistaken for monstrous movements beneath the murky waters. Yet, these explanations wash against the shores of belief like so many waves, leaving the legend of Whitey standing tall and uneroded by doubt. The White River itself, with its history of flooding, its dense forest, and deep eddies, provide the perfect backdrop for a creature of myth to exist, hidden from prying eyes of science. But what of the supernatural? In this realm, Whitey is not just a creature of flesh and blood, but a phantom of the waterways, a guardian of the river's secrets. This perspective sees it as a bridge between the known and the unknown, a living legend that defies explanation, embodying the mysteries that lie just beyond our reach. As we prepare to surface from the depths of our exploration, we must ask ourselves, is the White River Monster a cryptid waiting to be discovered by science? Or is it a creature of folklore, forever swimming the rivers of our imagination? The answer remains as elusive as Whitey itself, hidden beneath the surface of the White River, waiting for the next flood to bring it into the light. And so we find ourselves at the end of our journey, but not at the end of the story. The legend of the White River Monster lives on, in the tales told by those who swear they've seen something unexplained, in the protective laws of Arkansas, and in the hearts of those who believe the magic and mystery of our world. Now I turn to you, dear listeners, to share your thoughts, your beliefs, and perhaps your encounters. Have you ever faced the unknown, glimpsed something beyond explanation, or felt the thrill of a mystery unsolved? The story of Whitey is but one thread in the vast tapestry of legends that span our globe, and each of us holds a piece of that puzzle. As we draw the curtains on today's tale, our journey through the mists of fact, fiction, and the spaces in between comes to a close. We've navigated the murky waters of the White River, delved into the depths of history, and emerged with as many questions as answers. The monster remains a whisper on the wind, a ripple on the water's surface, elusive and ever captivating. This episode, like the river itself, has wound its way through the landscapes of legend and lore, personal encounters, and the intriguing battleground where science meets supernatural. We've seen how a creature as mysterious as the White River Monster can hold a mirror to our fascination with the unknown and our eternal quest for understanding. But the story doesn't end here. With the fading echo of our episode, it continues with you, our intrepid listeners. Have the tales of Whitey stirred memories of your encounters with the unexplained? You find yourself swayed by the skeptics? Or does your heart beat faster at the thought of mysteries lurking just beneath the surface of our world? We invite you to dive into the conversation. Comment on this YouTube video with your thoughts, theories, and tales. Join our Discord server where the discussion flows as endlessly as the White River itself, and share your experiences with a community of like-minded explorers of the unknown. Or if you prefer, you can send us an email. We're eager to hear your voice, to gather your stories, and add them to the tapestry of human curiosity and wonder. As we part ways, remember, the world is brimming with mysteries waiting to be unraveled, stories aching to be told, whether it's a creature hiding in the depths of Arkansas's rivers, or a whisper of something beyond in your own backyard. Keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your spirit adventurous.